I watched episode 2 of Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, so you don't have to. And honestly, are any of us surprised that someone who reached out to Gypsy Rose Blanchard while she was in prison for the murder of her mom, are any of us surprised that the men that did that are turning out to actually be crazy? Let me know in the comments. I'll wait. Before we get into this video, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this episode, or let me know what you're having for a drink, or just post an emoji or anything like that, because when you guys leave comments, it brings the engagement up on my videos, and I'm just trying to see something. Leave me a comment. Let's get the engagement up. We can do this together. Let's work as a team, and let's go ahead and get into this, because woo, this episode was crazy and we got a lot to talk about. Before I get into this little dragging Ryan session, I just have to say that yes, I do feel bad that Gypsy Rose Blanchard turned out to be who she actually is and left him for another man that she was still in love with the entire time. I do feel bad for him that that happened. I feel bad for him that she got pregnant like shortly after leaving him, and the trauma that he must be experiencing from all of that happening. However, I don't feel bad for people when they're a little crazy. And it starts out where he's showing the inside of his house, and he's got like burn marks on his wall from the little Ryan and Gypsy sign that he took down that he doesn't want to paint over because he thinks it's like a symbolism of their relationship. He's got pillows in the house that say Gypsy and Ryan. He's got pictures of her in frames that are flipped like this. They're just put down. The pictures aren't removed. They're still up. He's got pictures on his refrigerator hung up that she drew him, and it's giving fan.
Put the sign down and realized it's still there, like her name's still there. Thought about painting over it, I probably should. But her pictures are still in those frames down. It's just, I don't know, just hadn't got rid of them yet. I don't know. But, I still consider Pixie Gypsy. Decorated this together. So, like, a lot of this is hers. Like, our pillows that we have, Ryan and Gypsy. Pillowcase. I always like that pillow. So, like, I've thought of driving over and just showing up, but I wouldn't want that done to me.
I'm not gonna lie, it's giving crazy fan, which, I mean, honestly, she can't really be surprised. Something in her has to realize these people have to be crazy. But also, she is, I mean, look what she did. So maybe she's into that. I mean, she was into Nick Godejohn. And oh my God, you guys, this is a side note. If y'all want a video on this, let me know. But I was reading through the transcripts from the court of what was in these videos that she sent Nicholas Godejohn, you know, where she was being her like different personalities. I think one of them was named Ruby or something. Y'all, I was reading through it, and it's honest, there's stuff that was in there that I didn't know. Like, I knew some of the things like from the videos that I've seen, but there are some transcripts from the videos I haven't seen where the stuff that she was saying was messed up. Like if you were to say something like that and try and be an influencer like she is, you'd be canceled. Like, nobody would be supporting you. It would not be happening. So anyways, with that being said, like, these men saw this stuff. They're like, I watched her documentary, okay, and reached out to her from that. They heard these things, and they're like, hey, I want to get with her. I mean, it is giving psychopath. He's giving psychopath. I'm sorry. It is. It's such a weird place to be in, to be watching this docuseries, because sometimes when I'm watching it, I'll catch myself feeling bad for her in certain moments, which we went over that in my last video about her show. And I got to remind myself continuously, like, why we know who she is, because sometimes I get a little distracted and I kind of fall off the plot a little bit, which I think is what they want to happen when you're watching the show. But I got to remind myself all the time, like, why we know who they are and why they're on TV. And honestly, it's insane that we're watching these people. I mean, there's this clip where Ryan's talking about how he thought about even driving up where she lives, okay? That is like next level crazy. I would say that if I wasn't Gypsy Rose, who was a part of the murder of my mom, that it would actually make me uncomfortable to have somebody be behaving like this and talking like this on camera and have all of the remnants of me in their house. Like, I get it. Like, when somebody leaves you and it's unexpected, like, it's going to be really painful. it's going to take a while to get over. But I don't know of anybody that after this long, they're going to leave all this up. And not only they're going to leave it up, but they're not even going to try and hide it for when the cameras come in. Coming off like he's going to talk about this for the rest of his life. He's going to be telling his like future grandchildren, if he has them, like, yeah, I married Gypsy Rose. He's still going to have all this stuff. It's going to be like artifacts, or he's going to try and sell it to make lots of money off of it. But honestly, I don't think he'd sell it. I think he's going to keep it forever, because I feel like he's giving fan energy at this moment. It's not giving ex-husband who's hurt from his wife. This is giving fan energy. Like, Gypsy Rose even said that he told her, like, hey, just leave Ken and I'll raise the baby. Even if it's Ken, like, I'll raise this baby. That's kind of like, that's not normal. I feel like when Gypsy Rose did what she did to Ryan, like, any normal person would not want anything to do with that individual. They wouldn't be like, I will bring you back, I will raise this other man's baby. Like, bro. There's this part where Gypsy's talking about how, you know, she wishes that she did things different with him, and it's like, no, you don't. Girl. No, you don't. If you could go back in time, you would not stay with Ryan longer, or you would have done everything the same way. You would have done everything the same way. You're just trying to convince people that there's some good in there. They wouldn't have done that. Don't believe that for a second. One thing I've learned from watching Gypsy Rose on TV and her lives, and we're going to be doing a video about that because it was insane. But one thing we've learned about Gypsy Rose is that it doesn't matter who she's with, how close you've gotten. She will air out your stuff on TV, and she will talk about you and try and make you look bad on TV. I mean, she's doing it with Ken. Okay, I saw it in a live firsthand, and that's coming in another video. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Ken does address in this next episode the dinner, and I guess they knew like that it was going to end up being a thing, and like off camera she told him how, you know, it hurt her, and he said that he thought it was a lighthearted joke. Like, he's trying to say that what we just watched in the first episode, like trying to gaslight us, that was just like a lighthearted joke. That was just jokes, that she took it wrong, and because she took it wrong, he won't act like that again. Honey, if that's how you joke, you're a nasty human being, because there's nobody on this planet that would like a joke like that. You said you were disappointed in her. You tried to embarrass her in front of the waiter, which, yes, she is a bit of a liar. We've seen it where she lies, okay? That is a factual thing. She was lying to the waiter, but it is a lighthearted lie where she's just trying to not, you know, be rude in a restaurant, and I totally understand. I would seriously be pissed if my husband did that to me. Like, that's just like crossing the line. And then to be like, this, you're disappointed because you don't want to eat friggin' octopus. And you all made a really good point that when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to eat a lot of seafood. There's certain seafood that's like off limits, and then there's certain seafood that you can have in moderation. So yeah, her having like a whole platter of seafood in this moment, probably not the best idea. Now, she did a live where she was reacting to the second episode on her TikTok, and I'm going to be doing another video about that because I don't have time to do it today because it is very, very late. I've been solo parenting all day. It is 11:02 p.m. so I don't got time to talk about it today, but that video is coming. Just bear with me. But she was in a live where she was so ready to drag Ken and to make him look terrible, and she did, and she was spilling the tea, and I'm like, girl, she retaliates. Ken even said it in this episode that she retaliates, and he's right, she does. I mean, look what happened to her mom. We all know that she retaliates and that she has that personality about her. But in this live, she was like, oh, he knows that what he did was wrong, and we're not going to talk about that anymore. We're going to let it go. He was in the wrong, and she's kind of like smiling about it.
Okay, everybody watching this, he acknowledges he was a jerk that night. We're moving on from it.
Right, that was the past.
That was the past. We're watching the past unfold.
I'm going to tell y'all right here, you heard it here first. Gypsy is enjoying how much hate Ken is getting, and that there's a bit of a spotlight off of her and on him. And she's enjoying it. And with some of the things that she talks about later on in this live that she says about Ken that honestly was just given too much, she is ready to humiliate him, even if they're currently engaged. I don't know if they're secretly engaged or whatever they are. She will humiliate him on camera, on lives, anything to get the spotlight off of her. And I don't know if he's recognized that yet. And as much as I agree with the way that he behaved at this dinner was wrong, there's things that he does in this episode that pisses me off we're also going to be talking about. I do think it's important to mention that she likes making the men that she's with look bad on TV. She did it with Ryan in episode or season 1, where she was like talking about how he was a hoarder and this, that, and the other. She was talking about him on camera when he wasn't there. There are certain scenes in season 2 that give me flashbacks to season 1, like later on in this episode when she's like digging through Ken's stuff and packing and emptying out the fridge and all of that and talking about how her mom was a hoarder. It's giving that one episode in the first season where she was doing that with Ryan. Like, it's like the same thing. It's like when they're not home, she's like digging through their stuff and like talking about how they're both hoarders. Like, she even said like Ken and Ryan were alike in that area, which I'm just like, why would you, if you guys were in love, why would you be talking about him like that on camera? I mean, honestly, I'm all for it. Please keep doing it. I'm so entertained. I want all the tea. Please keep talking bad about each other because it is so entertaining to watch. But honestly, like, that's nothing that I would do to my husband on TV. I wouldn't get on there and air out his dirty laundry on there. I mean, I just feel like it's a bit disrespectful, especially if you're like in a relationship still. Like, why would you be doing that? I don't know. Unless your goal is to get the attention off of you, honey. There's also this clip. Oh my God. I'll see if I can find it. If I can't, you just got to take my word for it. There is this clip of Gypsy where she's like sitting down and she's talking to Ken about how Ryan reached out to her. And she even told Chrissy this. She said that he reached out saying that he misses certain things about her. And she's like, I mean, it had been like a month since he reached out to me. And I'm like, oh man, I thought he was making progress. Just talking about it like this poor little puppy dog, like, oh, like I thought he was getting better. Girl, you don't care. Honestly, the thing I think that she actually cares about is I think that she likes that he's all about her. Because remember when she went on live, when she thought he had like a girlfriend or whatever that was like booty dancing on him in that TikTok video? We reacted to that. I'll have a playlist link down below. She did a live talking about how like upset she was about that whole thing. And it was honestly really giving somebody who's having an issue with the fact that the spotlight was now off of her and that he was interested in somebody else. So even though on camera she tries to act like she wants him to find somebody else, her actions don't really line up with what she's saying. Like, it's giving like she's trying to convince everybody that she doesn't like that he's still obsessed with her, but I think she loves it. I mean, everybody likes when somebody likes them, right? I mean, it's not just her. I feel like everybody likes to be liked, but also at the same time, this dude's getting a bit crazy. Like, he wants to like drive up to your house and he's still got your stuff and your pictures up. It's really disturbing, honestly. He also says like Ryan has selfishness about him. Y'all get this. Y'all are gonna eat this one up like, nom, 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 I already know. But she said Ryan has some selfishness about him where he doesn't see the full picture. This is when she was talking about like, you should, you know, leave Ken and come be with me and I'll take care of the baby. And I just thought that was brilliant coming from her. Ryan's got some selfishness about him. Girl, didn't you leave your husband? Actually, you were talking to your ex that you were in love with the entire time. You weren't transparent to Ryan about how you were still in love with him, which, girl, if you were, he'd probably still stay with you anyway, let's be for real. But she wasn't transparent with Ryan about how she was still in love with Ken when they got married, okay? Wasn't transparent about that. Gets married, uses him for whatever she's using him for in the moment, and then behind his back, talking bad about him on camera. She also is talking to Ken off camera and doing whatever they were doing, which I honestly have a hard time believing that they didn't cheat, but they're claiming they didn't, so whatever. And then you leave him, and then you get pregnant like that, and you were just trying to get pregnant with him too. And it's like, you're calling him selfish? You're calling him selfish. You also were purposefully trying to get pregnant and make a baby before you had stuff sorted out in your own mental health and life. And you're calling him selfish. I'm not saying he's not. We saw Ryan being a little weirdo in season 1, okay? So I'm agreeing with her on that, but I'm just saying it's interesting coming from her when she's calling somebody else selfish. I find that fascinating. Open your eyes. It takes no effort to open them. There are some people out there, I've experienced it in my own life, where they will literally be sitting down talking to you about a person and stuff that they don't like about that person, and they are exactly the same way and they don't even realize it. Or either that or they're trying to convince you they're not that way, which could be true, but I'm smarter than that and I see right through it every time. And no, I literally am reading you like a book and you don't even realize it. Don't mess with me. I can see through fake. I can see right through it. We have this moment where Mia is giving Gypsy some really great advice because Gypsy's talking about wanting to get married and stuff. And Mia is always the voice of reason. She's always giving the best advice, which honestly, Mia, you're wasting your time with Gypsy because she's not going to listen to anything that you're saying. I'm just being real. But she was telling her, hey, like, you need to focus on the baby because you're doing everything too fast. You're impulsive, which, yes, she is, girl. Yes, she is. Somebody's in the grave because of her impulsive decisions, which honestly, that wasn't even impulsive. That was like planned over a long period of time, and she tried to kill her before with the gun, but it ended up being a BB gun. That wasn't even impulsive. That was planned. So she's basically trying to tell her, like, hey, you need to just enjoy being a mom and a new mom and focus on that and don't worry about getting married. And I think it's because Mia sees that this is a disaster in the making. I mean, Gypsy and Ken, excuse me, they're not a match made in heaven in my personal opinion. Maybe behind the scenes they're happy as can be. I find it interesting that they're both so quick to embarrass each other on television and on lives after the fact, okay? They are so quick to make each other look bad and to throw each other under the bus, okay? On TV, knowing millions of people are gonna see it. That is not two people that should be getting married. I honestly feel like if or when they break up, it is going to be so messy. I feel like it is going to be so messy, honestly. I mean, Gypsy is in a relationship with him now, and when he's not at home, she is talking about him and things that he did that were terrible. I will give her that. But she's talking about it on a live. I mean, we're going to talk about it in another video because she was saying stuff that Ken did with his ex that is so messed up. She was spilling it all in a live, so subscribe, come back for that. She was barely talking to anybody, or actually she wasn't talking to anybody in the chat the whole time. She was just recording herself watching the show. And in this moment, she just decides to sit up and just say all this stuff about Ken, but she hasn't even been directly talking to anybody. So it's like, she's just ready to make somebody look bad if it takes the attention off of her, and that's exactly what she was doing, and it is wild. I will say this, they're showing clips of like the new house and stuff like that, and the house that they're moving into looks very, very nice. Honestly, I would love that house. I think it looks great, so I have something positive to say. I think their new house looks beautiful, but then we got to get into Ken here. Okay, because this dude, honestly, he needs to go read some books. He's trying to tell her that she does not need to get baby furniture for this house. And you know, I'm just going to give a little bit of context. They do not live together. She lives with her parents, and Ken is the one that is going to be living in this house, and Gypsy's only allowed to stay there 2 days out of the week because of her parole. And so he's trying to tell her that you're not going to get furniture for the baby to keep here. You're not going to get 2 of everything, okay?
We're going to go in there and spend like $2,000 on a crib that we just...
No, I'm not going to spend $2,000 on a crib.
We have everything but the crib.
We have nothing.
We have everything.
All that is for my room and cutoff. What do we have?
Okay, no. We are not going to buy 2 of everything. We can transport the item when the baby comes to my house. We can take the bassinet with us.
No, we are not doing that.
Yes, we are.
And also telling her that she couldn't get a recliner. She needed a recliner to breastfeed. She could just sit on the floor and breastfead.
Shouldn't need a crib. Shouldn't need a reclining chair.
Where am I going to breastfeed her?
You can do it on the floor.
Oh my God, kid. Oh.
Another dick moment.
Another dick moment. I swear.
I've had it up to here. I can't even reach my hands up as high as I want to with men who think that they can tell women what they need when it comes to their bodies. If you are not the one that is carrying the baby and birthing the baby, and you're not going to be the one breastfeeding the baby, then you don't get to tell a woman where she can do that, okay? You're actually like one of the biggest misogynists, and it's disgusting, and I'm sick of seeing it on my television. I'm gonna be real with you. Breastfeeding on a floor, if you gotta do it, yeah, you can. But when you are breastfeeding and you're burning like however many calories a breastfeeding session because your body is working in overtime to feed this baby, and all of the hormones that are going on, and the fact that you just delivered a baby, you want someone that you're claiming to love to sit on the floor like a piece of furniture, to sit down there with all the bugs and the dust. You should be rolling out a red carpet for your woman that just carried your child for 9 months and delivered your baby. You should be doing anything to accommodate her needs and make sure that she is comfortable and has everything that she needs, that she has a pillow, that she has a comfortable chair, that she has a blanket, that she has her water. We all know that he likes to get Gypsy to drink her water. After what I saw in that live where he was like yelling at her, drink water. I'm just gonna say it, like if a man had to carry a baby for 9 months, deliver the baby and breastfeed the baby and wake up every few hours to take care of the baby, they would be the biggest whiny about having to do that, and you freaking know it. A dude gets a cold and he's crying about it, but a woman gets a cold and she's over there doing the dishes and doing the laundry and vacuuming her house and taking care of her kids and cooking the dinner. And come on, let's be real here. Let's have some respect on women who carry and deliver babies for real. And on that note, when he's talking about how like, hey, you're gonna bring the bassinet all the way from that place and bring it over here, we're not getting two of everything. Who's having a baby and they're pregnant, they're very excited to get things for them. And I don't like when people try and be like, no, you can't get this. It's like, even if it's like a freaking diaper trash can, which I feel like is completely unnecessary, or like a changing table, which I feel like is unnecessary. Even if it's unnecessary things that you know they're probably not going to end up using, a wipe warmer, even if it's something that I personally think is pointless and not needed, let them buy it, especially with their first baby, because it's exciting and fun to go and get new things. And honestly, if y'all live in two separate places, you just do not understand how much effort it takes to carry a baby around and move a baby from here to there, all the things that you have to take with you. Already, the last thing that you're gonna want to do is like multiple times a week be bringing a bassinet from this place to that place, like breaking it down and this, that, and the other. Like, oh my gosh, like you guys are on TV and you're making I don't know how much money from the lives that you're doing and the press that you're doing and the stories that you're selling and the pictures that you're selling, that you can afford to make life a little bit more convenient. Ken just gets under my skin. I just honestly, I mean, did I really think that somebody that was going to be with her was going to be somebody that I really liked? No, but he bothers me so much more than I thought that he did. Now, in this episode, we do see the scene with the hairbrush, and there's this moment where Gypsy's sitting on the couch and she's giving him a glare that I feel like is terrifying.
Look at what we have here. Oh, and what is this? The hairbrush of an ex-girlfriend.
That's actually mine. That's
With blonde hair.
Oh, I mean, maybe someone else used it.
That's what I thought.
Whatever.
It was blonde. Some things should be disregarded in the past.
I don't know why you're creating this scenario.
Oh yeah.
Like the way she's looking at him, I'm like, honestly, it is brave of you, my dude, to piss off a woman who was just in prison for the gruesome murder of her mother. Like, it is brave of you. Like, he actually goes to sleep at night. Like, how are these men going to sleep at night? I would be terrified, especially if we just had a fight and I just pissed her off about some other girl. I'd be like, am I safe? How, like, honestly, because her mom was killed in her sleep. When you're like the most defenseless and you have no idea what's going on, that's scary. Like, you are pissing her off and she's giving you this look over the hairbrush of an ex-girlfriend, and you're just like, you're gonna go to bed at night and be okay? I will say this, in Gypsy's defense, I'll give this, that if this was my dude and he kept the brush of an ex-girlfriend, I would be giving him a worser look than that. Okay. You know, he says in the clip about them like arguing over the baby furniture, why does everything always gotta be your way? And I'm like, honey, she went to prison for that. Because it has to be her way. She manipulated a man into doing the unthinkable. She talked about in these text messages to Nick that she would R-word for him. She talked about that. Maybe we'll go over that in another video if y'all want to see it. But I don't know, y'all. It's crazy. I feel like they're both sleeping with one eye open. They're both watching each other at night because they're both giving creepy energy, not gonna lie. So Gypsy did a live, okay, where she talks about this hairbrush scene more in detail and talks about why she was so mad about it and the things of his ex-girlfriend that she had found 2 weeks prior to this hairbrush. I have that live because I was watching it, and I have it. Yes, I do. And we're going to be talking about it in another video because I got to go to bed, honeys. I got to go to bed. But I'm going to try and get this edited for y'all so that you can have it bright and early in the morning. So if it's up, leave me a comment down below. It helps with the engagement on my videos. And subscribe if you guys want to see. It is crazy what she was saying on live. It is crazy. I'm like, she is like in a relationship with this dude and she's dragging him online like they're broken up. She's dragging him worse than Ryan. We're going to talk about that in another video. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see y'all for another one.